What's good, YouTube? I am back in my hotel room after a long day of playing in the IRL RBET at Card Addiction in Fullerton, California. Of course, this whole thing was organized by Keegan months and months in advance, so I ended up flying the whole way out here to play in the event, and I had an absolute blast overall. It was just a great experience. I haven't played in paper in like 15 years or so. So it was absolutely refreshing. I got to meet everyone, pretty much the whole gang from Discord was there. We had Cameron was there, Fitz was there, Keegan was there, Murray was there, Roanoke was there as well. So just a ton of people. Got to hang out, got to play test, got to play the event. So I had a blast. I got to co-commentate with Keegan on the top 8, and that was a ton of fun as well, doing that in person. So yeah, overall, the whole thing was definitely a worthwhile experience for me. As for how the tournament itself went, I had like a kind of middling, mediocre performance, to be completely honest. I ended up playing the Kuraz deck. I was sort of, it was a last minute decision. I was like conflicted between several different options, and I decided to just play this because it was something I was familiar with that I had in paper. To be completely honest, I was thinking like, I bubbled with his deck twice and I want to top with it. So I decided to play it one more time and just see what happens. But at this point, I'm probably going to retire the deck. It's like really weird for me to play the same build more than once between tournaments, because usually I just like think of an idea and then show up, and then, it either works out or doesn't, and we move on to the next thing. But with this deck, I've gotten kind of attached and played it multiple times. But the only real success I ever had with it was on ladder, so we're probably going to be retiring it in terms of like real hardcore competitive play at the very least. I know a lot of people out there would have liked to see the Kuraz deck top, and I am sorry that I kind of failed you in that department. I guess I can talk a little bit about how my rounds went. So round 1 was actually my feature match, and it was probably the coolest like match out of all of it. It was definitely like Game 1 was the best game I played all day, for sure. For sure, that game was awesome. If you didn't check out the stream over on the E3 Yu-Gi-Oh channel, you gotta go watch Game 1, because Game 1 was insane. Unfortunately, the match ended up going into time because Game 1 was so crazy. And I did lose in time, but Game 1 was just like the coolest thing I think I've ever experienced in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! So definitely give that a look. And then match number 2, I played against a Hero Beat player. And their build was a little different. They run like Sidra and Thunder King Ryo main deck with Double Honest. It was like a more like aggro kind of stun version of the build, I guess. I ended up taking that match, and then round 3 I played against Synchro Cat. It was like a really standard build. I think they were even on some Calibers in the main, but it's just like with the Spies and the Caiuses and the Cat, the Avarice, like all the standard Synchro Cat stuff. I think that deck's actually kind of underrated. Dude was super cool. He was a big fan of the channel, so if you're watching this, shout out to you. You're an awesome opponent. But yeah, we ended up taking the W in that match as well. Then round number 4 was like definitely the worst one by far. I played against Zombies, which is like bad matchup to begin with. And then Game 1, I just like Omega bricked. It was like the one brick I had all day. It was just like terrible, unplayable hand. So we lost that game. And then Game 2, I had like literally everything in terms of my draws, but I was so tilted from Game 1 that I just like completely threw somehow. So that match really sucked. And then round 5, I played against Fairies, and we won Game 1. And then Games 2 and 3, we got Christia'd, and we just didn't have outs. So this is what can you do kind of situation. And at that point, I decided to just drop and get on comms with Keegan because there's no way to top. Could have played round 6, I guess, if I really wanted, but I kind of wasn't feeling it at that point. So that was how my games went. Obviously, I didn't like instantly scrub out, so it's not like I flew all this way for nothing. I got to play most of the rounds, but obviously I would have liked to do better, and I'm sure a lot of you would have liked for me to do better. But I decided to do a quick video just to like go over my performance and maybe talk about the deck profile a little bit. I kind of want to go through it pretty fast because it's very similar to a build that I showed recently-ish on the channel. It was a couple months ago. I played a list that was also on the Snowman Eaters. So first we got triple Kuraz. I mean, it's called the Kuraz deck for a reason. Like the whole thing's kind of built around this card. We just use it to generate advantage in cool ways. So definitely, I think being on 3 is the correct play. Being on 2 just feels like weird. Like, what are we even trying to do? So I went back up to 3. Then we got double Gadgetron. Obviously, it's the correct ratio. Can't play 3, can't play 1, or you're bad. Trag, no Gores, but Trag is very good. It can do a lot of neat stuff. I wish you could play Gores, but it kind of conflicts with all the field spells and setting over Gear Towns and stuff. Then we're on the plant stuff. It goes well with the Mausoleum because you can summon the Titanial even if you draw it. And of course, it's very important to have as many debris targets as possible because Debris Dragon is like very, very important to everything the deck's trying to do. Speaking of which, we're on triple debris. We want to make Black Rose and Ancient Fairy just a lot. So I went up to 3. I think it's just by far the best normal summon in the entire deck. It's super important for what we're trying to do. AFD is like very high impact with all of the like field spell shenanigans and plays you can do. So three Debris Dragon. We're also on triple Snowman. This card kind of enables you to go up to triple Kuraz, triple Debris, because like a wall stuff, and then you can like distribute it for Kuraz next turn, and then it's also like just another debris target, so your debris is just never dead. So triple Snowman. Obviously, it's like a lot better against some decks than other decks. It gives you like a huge edge against like aggro stuff. Like part of the big reason I beat Hero Beat was because I was just like on triple Snowman. I drew like all 3 of them in game 1. It was pretty wild. Trooper, another debris target, just like a decent card. You can build Dandy, and yeah, I mean, debris target, good card. I think Trooper's one of the best normal summons in the entire format. Sangan is a lot worse. I feel like Sangan performed kind of questionably overall, honestly. It might just be like a little too slow for this deck. Like, it is a floater you can pop with Kuraz, but like the thing you get off it is just something you're gonna normal summon next turn or something. So I might consider cutting this in future versions of the list maybe. Field spells, you play these 5 and always these 5. Yeah, I've probably explained them a lot before, so yeah. And then triple Terraforming, super important, of course. We're on the field spell stuff, it lets you tutor them. Brain, Heavy, MST staples. And then we're on Foolish. This was the other like sort of questionable card, but I feel like it's kind of mandatory if you want to be on the triple debris, and the triple debris I think is really important. The trap lineup, you're pretty much always loving to see the traps in this deck. I think they were all very awesome. You do want to draw these. So we play the 5 good ones, which are Call. Call is essentially just like a power trap in here. It's absolutely crazy. You can revive big dudes, you can revive Kuraz, you can revive floaters. It's like the craziest Call to Haunted deck in the entire format by far. So you definitely want this card. Then Torrential, Dust Shoot, Mirror, Solemn, the good ones. Then the other traps we play are like the chainables for Kuraz, so triple Legacy of Yada, and then triple Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, just generic out to anything, and the Yep Draw ones to help thin your deck. On to the extra and the side. So the extra, we don't use most of the cards in here, honestly, except for the debris targets. So we have room, so I just played 2 of these. Yeah. And then this, you can only make this with like debris plus Iron Chain Dragon, so it pretty much never comes up. Mistworm, I just wanted one of every level, I don't know. RDA, you can make this, I don't think it actually came up, but you can make it with relative frequency. It's just like a good beater. This like is hypothetically possible to make with debris plus some combination of dark monsters, but it very rarely comes up. Mostly in this deck, we're just summoning Stardust, and these level 7 Dragon Synchros, which are the AFDs and the Black Rose Dragon. Obviously, I mentioned before, Ancient Fairy Dragon, very, very important card in this deck. Lets you pop the Gear Town, lets you just search field spells if you want to do that. So very, very integral to the strategy. Then this is only for if you like Brain Mind a zombie you master or something, and then you can just climb into a level 8. Iron Chain can come up, didn't come up, but it can. So you kind of have to play it. And like I said, we got tons of space in here, so who really cares? Catastor and Armory just have one of each level if you take like a tuner monster and want to be able to synchro with it. And then finally, to close it out, we got the side deck. We're on the 2 Cyber Dragons, kind of a staple side deck card at this point. Double Thunder King, good versus zombies, good versus heroes. DD Crow, good versus like a lot of decks, and it's probably the best form of Graveyard Disruption because it is just so fast, so chainable, has the advantage of being a hand trap, like gatekeeps, BS, sort of sacky things. So yeah, I'm on Raikou Minecon. A lot of people playing Hamster out there, and Minecon's just a pretty good side deck card. Zombie World for Frogs. Actually, never played against Frogs. I didn't play against Blackwings either. It was a super weird day. The only like big meta threats I played against, well, I guess zombies, but then also like the one hero beat player. Mind Crush plus Road. I played this in pretty much everything, and then Double Dust, just good generic back row removal. Chainable for Kuraz. Iron Wall is actually insane. It was like really awesome every time I drew opposed board. It's just most decks can't really support it because like everyone plays Bottomless, everyone plays Caius Shadow Monarch, everyone plays like D Prison, and then everyone also like sides DD Crow. So it's tough to find a deck that actually supports it. But I think our Iron Wall is a pretty severely underrated side deck card. So that closes out the deck list. Like I said, had a ton of fun at the event despite my not so great performance. I mean, I could have gone worse, but obviously I'd have preferred to top. But yeah, oh yeah, wait. We got to show our dandy tokens here. So I hand drew these and I'm very proud of them. They're beautiful. But yeah, that just about summarizes how the event went for me. I've been, of course, my upload schedule got kind of messed with by traveling for this event. But once I get home, things should get back in order and we should get back on track with that. So I apologize. I should probably have recorded some stuff in advance, but I can be bad at planning at times. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed my little updated deck profile and tournament report there. And I'll see you next time. Peace out.